Welcome to the armory. Time for the teams to gear up.
Right, guys, this is a good game. Here's an interesting part, though. I didn't play very well in this game. I made some build mistakes. I want to show that I am human. But no, this really was an interesting game and a good game. I want to say we sort of get Moira diffed. Moira earns more money, but then they make a critical mistake, which I think kind of causes their team some problems. So it's Junker Queen, Cassidy, Soldier 76, Moira, and Kiriko against Winston, Soldier 76, Cassidy, Moira, and Lucio. So the only difference is the tanks and Lucio instead of Kiri. So we pick Phantasm because the idea is we want liquid nitrogen later on. We get armored vest, power playbook for some ability power, and then I think I went weapon power. It was either weapon power or attack speed, and I may have opted for weapon power. I'd normally go attack speed, but I thought, look, why don't I try and do a significant amount of healing? And that was kind of inspired from the previous game. The previous game that I played, I did tons of healing with Phantasm and Precarious Potency, but it turned out not to be an interesting game. Which is why you're seeing this one, as we lose our Cassidy right away. Now just trying to heal up and get a bit rich if we can. We've got a fire damage orb here to try and get that soldier off the high ground, otherwise he's just going to keep on putting damage out onto us. Still is, to be honest. And we fade, drop off a damage orb there, try and get another healing orb over onto our Junker Queen, but Winston's pushing him well. Good pull back from the Winston. They haven't capped the point though. No players took that as a job to do. So enemy team caps the point. We're in a lot of trouble here. Winston takes us down. We got hit a lot by the soldier as well. And 3 of our team go down, and yeah, enemy team going to start getting those points on the board. So there is quite a lot of drama in this game later on. But I won't spoil it too much. There's great Phantasm Orb from the enemy Moira blocking off the choke point. Even if we can just walk around it, it does mean that it's going to delay our advance to the point. And, you know, sometimes 1% can make all the difference. So now we go out there, put an orb down. We try and stay around that because we should be able to tank Coalescence, but when Lucio boops us away from the orb, nope, that's GG. And yeah, enemy team up to nearly 60%. It's not going well for our team so far. The Cassidy saying, sorry, I can't play against the Lucio. I mean, if anyone on our team can play against the Lucio or should be able to, it's probably going to be the Cassidy, which is a little bit worrying. This Junker Queen uses ult forward, great boot from the Lucio. This Lucio I've played against quite a few times. They're a very good Lucio, very Reddit-like, as in they jump around, they're very aggressive. Combine that with a monkey, it can be problematic. Try and get a bit of healing out there onto players, but we've got to get touch, which is why we've got to leave them. Moira tracks us behind. We just about touched the point, but what are we going to do here? We've got choice of damage orbs, healing orbs. Do we want to buy time for our team? We opt for a damage orb first, followed by a healing orb, but that healing orb bounce path is blocked by Phantasm Orb. Great one from the Moira again, and we need our fade. We put another orb down. We've got to fire a second heal orb here. There is a bubble around. Kitsune's in play. If we could just survive that, we would have got more cooldowns and probably a better chance of survival. And now there's nothing that the Junker Queen can do against this High Noon. Can't get close to him. Enemy team take the first round 1-0, and yeah, we're kind of broke. The heal play didn't really work. We only made 11k, which is not good. Crucially, it also means that we can't really get liquid nitrogen in round 2. So if we had like 14k, we could still maybe get our armored vest and liquid nitrogen, but it would be, yeah, not a good idea to get it anyway. Not with no other items. So what I'm thinking about here is, should I just abandon the orb for now and just get something like wrist wraps for attack speed? Because what are our orbs really going to do right now? Then I'm like, well, if we just go attack speed, we might just end up poor without chain grasp. So we're kind of conceding this round, or at least our influence on this round, and we're just going to get a bunch of ability power and, yeah, try and generate some cash. So yeah, enemy Moira is also on 14.9k cash, which means they're actually well into their build, got nice AP on them.
2, 1.
But let's see if we can turn it around. Right, payload race. Kiriko, though, should be able to get some good healing here. So we fire the damage orb over towards the Moira. We fade. That's a damage orb, though. It would have been great for a healing orb. Trying to keep our soldier alive against the monkey who does disengage. Got to watch out for the players on the flank here. Just, again, using a damage orb to zone them. It's one advantage that damage orbs really have over healing orbs. Like with healing orbs, you don't move anybody out of position, but damage orb, no one wants to just take that 50, 60 damage and just stand there. So now we decide that we're going to stay on the payload, but we've got to try and be active. We do want to win the race, so we move forward and then straight back to the payload, because we need to do that. But we've used our cooldowns. Kiriko very low health. A lot of our players very low health. Kiriko gets taken down. Jungle Queen's there. We drop off a healing orb for them as well. Trying to fall back here. We're going to have to bounce an orb and then follow it. Monkey jumps on us. It's not a problem. We've got Fade. That's also going to keep healing orbs over onto the Jungle Queen, and the Winston overextends. Can we capitalize on this advantage here? We need to be moving forward here while they haven't got a tank. We try and get like a flank angle, but the Cassidy's got it covered. So now we were on a slightly different flank angle. Great orb going through. Lucio's very weak. Lucio nearly gets taken down. We drop off an orb, but then have to fade back and then watch out in case somebody chases us. Monkey does try to chase, so we have to coalescence with our heal orb. We might as well use it. It gives us a bit of life steal there. Can we take down the Lucio on the flank? We just about do round the corner. Enemy Winston's antied here, but he's used his ult, which means he's going to be difficult to kill. As now Jungle Queen's trying to just push the payload sensibly. And there's a Cassidy here. Ooh. Nearly got him down, but was enough. Maybe shouldn't have gone for it, considering we're on an orb build, but you know, we've got to try and reduce their damage output on the rest of our team, not just heal up. So we've used our Kitsune Rush. Jungle Queen takes down the Cassidy. Oh, we've got a player really low. Moira's also really low, but we haven't got the damage. She's got a heal orb with her as well. Where she faded to, faded back. Should be safe there, so we're going to have to fade around. Don't get to use the Phantasm Orb. A few of our players are low, but they are grouped. Soldier, Cassidy even goes down, which is unfortunate. So now are we going to stop their payload from moving, go around the corner and drop an orb? But now that the visor's popped, we have to move back. Jungle Queen's isolated on her own, though. Got to watch out for the soldier coming in. Puts out a fair bit of damage, so we drop a Phantasm Orb in his face. Now we're just trying to rhythmic dodge the Cassidy. We managed to dodge a few shots, but he takes us down as well. Our team's still in the lead, but without the players alive, the enemy team's going to rapidly catch up. Soldier over onto the Cassidy. Cassidy's in a bad position, does get taken down, but the question is, can we get it? They are in the final stretch. We fire the orb through, try and heal up our soldier. We've got to get inside the bubble with him. And our Lucio's coming to join the party, so we drop an orb off for them, get quite a bit of damage onto them. They pop their healing, though. Oh, beat comes in. We use Coalescence, so we're going to start off trying to do some healing. Also, we want to be a bit of a target here. Maybe force players back off the payload, so we drop an orb there. Cassidy's now got us targeted, but we do take him down with help from the soldier. Now worried about our Kiriko at the back. Moira has used Coalescence. Probably time for some damage orb. We get in close and personal. The double damage orb taking her down during the ultimate. Monkey's now on the point trying to contest. Both tanks actually contesting the opposing ones. So we're going to stay on R1 and just push it. Get it to the end. Bring the score 1-1. And we've got a very slight cash bonus. Sorry, cash advantage because of the bonus money. We had a 9% boost, which actually works out really nice for us. I don't agree with it as a game mechanic, but it does keep some of the games closer. So, round 3. We've got choices here. Cross Orbal's really good if we want to go a full orb build. The problem with that is if it then starts not working, then it might cause us problems. Chain Grasp gives us the option to, at any point, switch over to a weapon power, attack speed, blast cannon, kind of eliminate the entire enemy team build. We could go multi-ball now in advance of getting debuffs, because we know we're going to get liquid nitrogen at some point, because we're going to want to slow down the Lucio, cause the monkey problems when they jump in. And we opt for Chain Grasp. Now, the question is, do we go for it now? And by the looks of it, yeah. So I'm going for a Chain Grasp build now, just to test the waters with it. It's 1-1. We know we've got a few rounds. It's the standard Chain Grasp build, right? So We're getting Frenzy Amplifier on the end of it as well, though, which probably wasn't a good idea because the enemy team doesn't have a Kiriko, so there's no easy eliminations. And we opt to get Vitality as well. That's because the DPS are doing quite a lot of damage. So just a combination of the usual Chain Grasp, attack speed items, but with a little bit of survivability as well. It's not to help us against the Winston. The Soldier's putting out a load of damage. The Moira also is going to put out a load of damage. So yeah, it's just to give us that little bit of survivability because, yeah, it's probably more valuable for us on a map like this, especially where we've got to get close to them. We're going to take damage on entry. So we're waiting for our team to push forward. They're not really moving though. So now we get the Chain Grasp over onto the Moira. I think the damage surprised them. Was also helped with the Jungle Queen axe there. We're forced in here with no cooldowns. We hear the Lucio. That was scary, but opted not to go for us there. So now we're going to try and chase him down here. We try and get a fade jump. Just see if we can get that little last bit of damage. It didn't quite work. So now we can hear the Winston top right with the Lucio. So we're going to hope we can Chain Grasp something here. They are synergizing really well, and we fade into a box. A rare fade fail from the guy with a character called Moira Tech. But it happens. Look, we're only human. So our team, quite a few low health players. We fire an orb over the top. Hopefully it will target somebody. Does mean we can't use the Chain Grasp, but Monkey does get taken down again with an overextend. We fade forward aggressively, trying to get that Chain Grasp damage out onto players, but we find ourselves next to the Soldier. The armor did not help us there. Soldier's got a good aim on them. But luckily our team does take him down. City up behind. Soldier is chasing, but I'm not sure if they need to invest in that. We probably need them at the front. So we fire this damage orb here because the Soldier was chasing the Cassidy somewhere around here, and we've got to check the corners. We paid attention during the death cam. And there's the Cassidy. So we bounce an orb in, try and get the Chain Grasp. The orb doesn't bounce in a friendly way. We chase here knowing that we've got fade, and we can always fade the flashbang. But they opted to cross the entire map there. So now we're trying to get healing over onto our Junker Queen, but instead we switch to damage because we're not going to be able to heal that up in time. We'll have to rely on her own healing. So now the Monkey is here chasing us down using that leap and then kind of dive of power that they've got. They're still chasing us around, but we managed to survive. Going here to try and utilize that Chain Grasp as well. And we have to fade out because of the orb. Fire another one in. When you target the bubble, the Chain Grasp comes from the center of the bubble, so it can actually hit players behind the wall. And we tried to fade round to the Mega. Didn't make it in time. So the round's close. 35 seconds remaining. Junker Queen using her ult on the rest of the team, but I'm not sure that's going to work out. In fact, they do manage to take out both of the enemy supports. Our Soldier is down though. If we can get rid of somebody, Cassidy's over in Narnia right now. We take them down, but we've got to try and save our Junker Queen here. We just about managed to tag in time. I think actually it was Kiriko. I can't claim that one. Maybe we helped a little bit, just a little bit. So now trying to use Chain Grasp, we get over onto the Moira. The Lucio boops us. We're going to have to fade because of the double boop. Only 17 health remaining. Kiriko does come to our aid, but does that mean our tank's going to get weak? Watch the Winston bounce onto our team. Try and deal damage while he's isolated again, but in comes the Lucio beat. Soldier's taken down. Our Junker Queen's low on the point. We've got to try and get something close to them. Heal orb over onto the point. We are in the lead again now, so this is good. If we can win the fight, then we win the round. But it's not looking that good for us. Cassidy does get taken down. We've got our ultimate ability, but enemy team's going to get it. And the question is, can we actually save this in time? So we've got 3 players alive. They are pushing the bot. They haven't even got to get it to the checkpoint here. As Winston is jumping in aggressively. We're going to use our Coalescence out of spawn for movement speed. And the enemy team C9s. Such a costly mistake. They forgot the bot. They would have won that, I think. You know what? It would have been close. We had our players coming back, but there would have been a fight. So yeah, little lifeline for our team there, and we got 2-1. So immediately sell all the Chain Grasp items because I did not feel like that was particularly effective. So now we're going to get Phantasmic Flux and Liquid Nitrogen, and our money is so bad. Like, I'm not used to having so little money here. We're in round 4. And we could get 3 purple items with nothing else. So we consider Super Flexor, but then we remember that Nano Cola Wrist Wraps is going to be just a better combination where we have the stats permanently. And then for the last one, do we want to get Power Playbook for some ability power? We've got Phantasmic Flux, so we don't need ability Lifesteal. So I think, yeah, this is okay, but it's still, we feel pretty broke at this point.
Only 20 seconds left until we kick this round off.
Guys, in the downtime, if you could do me a really big favor and hit the like button on the video. It really does help me out. The best part of this game is still to come. Like, I promise you, that it starts to get way more interesting. I mean, it's already a pretty interesting game, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments. But it's going to get a whole lot more interesting. So, enemy Moira has opted for multi-ball. Now they've got some debuffs on there. They've got more money than us as well, so they've a bit more flexibility. We've gone Chain Grasp, and I mean, it's still useful. There's still Winston bubbles that we can do, but we're not speccing into it right now. It's just in case. If we lose like a couple of rounds and it feels like it's not getting stronger, we have that option to go for that build again. Whereas otherwise it might only be around 7. So I do quite like picking Chain Grasp, but even if it is, it does mean that we don't have the optimal build. So Soldier's putting up so much damage up top. And this is one of the problems that we're going to face in this round. Phantasmic Flux just isn't really cutting it. Because we're finding that we're not able to get that lifesteal out. Yeah, and we're not able to get that overhealth. We're just getting shot at a lot. And I'm finding it to be... Yeah, normally we'd... See, look, right now we're already starting on low health. That was overhealth from the Kiriko. And we're not able to get it. So if we can't get the attack and we're just getting hit at range, Phantasmic Flux is not going to be good for us. We also don't have the level of ability power where one orb just, you know, replenishes so much of our health. So it may be a rare scenario where Phantasmic Flux is not working out well for us. It's still early though, as we fade jump up top because we're expecting that soldier to take high ground. So just hiding there so that we can double orb and, you know, we may not kill them, but we may be able to get them off of the high ground as Lucio comes around the corner. We're just trying to listen. Lucio does come around the other way. We get a lot of damage onto them. Now we're forced to jump off of that high ground. Take the mini, we're low health. Moira's Coalescence does come in. We try the damage orb. This healing orb's not going to out heal them there. Now Moira's on us in the little room. So is the soldier. We just get flanked from 2 angles. Enemy team's playing so much better than us right now. Dunker Queen's the only hero on our team. Trying to do what they can. They're definitely our MVP at the moment. We're not playing particularly well. Soldier jumps up top and we don't manage to take them down either. Junker Queen does go down. Enemy team going to start getting some time on this point if they move towards it. But because they haven't stepped on it yet, we could go and heal our soldier rather than moving towards the point. So Junker Queen's there. Let's see what she can do. We fade there. That should slow the Lucio down, but we are still trapped in this room. Coalescence hopefully to help us break out of here. The soldier up top though causing us problems, and again, we're just, the survivability isn't there with Phantasmic Flux. We're just taking that long range soldier damage before any of our lifesteal comes in. So Junker Queen's still doing an absolutely amazing job. DPS not so much. Me not so much. Kiriko, I mean, right now it's a one-man team. They're desperately trying to do what they can here. But yeah, they're being kind of let down by the rest of us. Enemy team brings it 2-2. So we're still in the game thanks to a little C9 and yeah, some good play on the payload race map. But we've got a lot of work to do. Enemy now in the lead with cash by nearly 10k.
The teams are going head to head in control.
So going to Oasis.
Now's the time for our teams to
So we've got a power to pick.
strategies.
But sometimes I like to figure out the items first as well and just look at the cash. We really did not make much cash though. So we've gone for multi-ball. We ideally want to be able to get Cyber Venom as well. But look, that really doesn't leave us with that much. So yeah, the question is where to go here. We do have Nano Cola for the 6,000 cost, 20 ability power. And we opt to get, we sold Phantasmic Flux, like almost immediately. And there's the question, Lumerico Fusion Drive. So the armor's not going to help against Winston, but when you fade, it's still going to restore that armor. And even if Winston treats it as health, it's like health restoration. So it doesn't so much matter about the armor. We get more max health and we get, let's call it life restore. That's going to help a lot against the soldier who's causing us some problems.
We're in the middle innings
And hopefully that's going to work out better for us. Now this map, they've obviously added the jump pads over the right hand side, which are interesting. There's some incidents that happen with those. I think maybe they could do with changing them a little bit. But they certainly do add a dynamic. And I tell you what, I've had some games where both teams have gone to the jump pads at the start, and the start of the round is manic. Like, absolutely hilarious to see two teams jumping, and you got a Lucio booping them off the edge. I don't think in this game it's a good idea for us to go that way for that reason. The enemy team's going to get to the pads before us, and with a Lucio with double boot, we should not be going that way. So if our team does, then we're in a problematic situation. Soldier off the map. Yeah, that's the jump pad trap. Always funny. Right, so now here's a problem. We've got to try and move to the point. Our Junker Queen's being brave. Our DPS falling back here. Lucio put some pressure onto us. Yeah, however, look at how split our team is, right? So Junker Queen's pushed forward. Our DPS moving backwards when the monkey jumps. That's like the ideal scenario for a Winston. So if he jumps in and everybody moves backwards, Queen isn't going to survive against the rest of the team. And Winston can survive for long enough that, yeah, it's going to kind of work out. So now the Lucio and monkey combo again on us. We're just trying to survive. Stop the block contest. We're never going to fade out of there. They'll just speed after us and jump. So we might as well try and hang out in there. Enemy team caps the point. Takes down a few of our players as well. So monkey gets a bit low, but because of the Cassidy shots, we need to take a slightly different route. We're not just going to go direct there until they're forced back. Moira with those debuff orbs on us. Phantasm orb was again blocked, but the anti over onto the Winston does mean that we've taken down both tanks down. I'm not sure who that benefits more. I'd say the way that the enemy DPS are playing, it probably does benefit them more. So now we drop off an orb in front of them, try and heal up our Kiriko before flat bouncing some of them. I think we missed the bounce there a little bit. Enemy Moira didn't. Moira diff, right? So we'll try that again. This time it hits, we connect through, but Lucio's there to boop us back. In comes Kiriko. Oh, gonna make a push. We flank through with Coalescence. There's a beat in the way though. We're just trying to like slow them down and put some pressure on them. Cassidy's flanking as well though. Our Cassidy does get taken down. So after the roll, we're just gonna fake. Can we finish them off? No, we run out of Coalescence in the last 9 seconds. We did zone back their team a bit like their Winston's doing to us, and now the Winston's isolated, so we're trying to get some damage out on them, but Lucio again tracking us really well. Takes us down over near to the point. Took just too long for our team to get there. His enemy team now 90% capped. We really need to get this capture. Our soldiers already calling GG because I don't think they know how Stadium works, which is also a really bad sign. The team now over onto the point. Junker Queen has put out quite a lot of damage this round. She's in the 6.1k range, probably 6.4 now. Because now we fade over onto the point. It's not looking good for us though. Orbs coming in. Have we got anybody left to type? No. To type? No. I was going to type. I mean to touch. Right, so here I'm trying to let the DPS know, look, when the tank goes forward, we need to go back and spawn. We can't get isolated by that monkey because I'm sitting in the middle, right? Because I'm desperately trying to go forward for our Junker Queen. But our DPS are going backwards and I need to kind of go back and peel for them. And it's the same with Kiriko. Like, if the DPS move forward, Kiriko could always TP to our Queen to save them or could TP to our DPS. But we've got this big problem right now where Kiriko's peeling backwards for the DPS when the Winston jumps in. I can't get through because there's no pressure over onto the DPS and, you know, they're zoning me off. And Junker Queen, who can get through, gets herself isolated. So we're trying to explain that and we're not trying to flame them for it. We're just saying, look, this is what we need to do. This is the problem. You want to win, maybe go follow that advice. And so, yeah, they will get healing. All right, looking at the build, we've got 10k. So we can get smart orbs, but we've already got nano cola, so that would be our 6k item. So it's like, we don't really want to get just one purple here. We can't afford extendrils. We'd have to sell nano cola, which means we're going to lose a bunch of ability power. So now it's just, okay, picking the item. Yeah, we're going to see. Not long now until the teams lock in for the round. Okay. So we opt to get one of the slightly different items there. It's when we're high health, it's going to give us ability power, and when we're lower health, it's going to give us lifesteal. It should be interesting. It costs 5k. So again, instructing them like, just be brave, guys. Be brave. Like, we've got you. If you go forward, Monkey's not isolating. Supports can now support both players. So it's like now we seem to have formed like a bit of a death pool here. We fade back behind them, but yeah, they stood their ground. They didn't just run away. And look, everything's going to be okay. That Suzu basically hit everybody on our team. Phantasmal, we try and get some width now. We're a bit confident, but Moira's now forcing the team a little bit back. But again, they didn't all completely run because it's a Moira. Now Lucio's pushing forward. You don't get the same flexibility when our whole team's staying reasonably close with each other. Let's have a look how it's working out now. See, Soldier pushed forward as well. This is great. So we're not that far away from our tank. We're not far away from most of our team. And look, we're within fade range, heal range. We can debuff the attackers. Kiriko can Suzu basically everybody. We fire the orb up top to try and zone the Cassidy off. Now, at this point, we've got a decision. It is payload race, right? I can sit here and try and just stop them from moving their payload while we're moving ours. And that's what I've opted to do. I can survive quite a while myself. A few of my players do come to join me here. Well, Junker Queen does. Yeah, so far they're not moving it. Junker Queen now pushing forward. The rest of our team are pushing the payload. So I want to get up there and fire an orb. We've got to wait for our orb cooldown, but there's a Moira there, and that's the problem. I didn't expect that. I was expecting 1 DPS, maybe 2. And I feel like I could drop off the high ground in time, but because of liquid nitrogen on the enemy Moira's build, we couldn't fall off the high ground and we just get annihilated. So it didn't work out too well. However, we've gained a massive payload lead. Again, choice. Do I go for my team here to try and secure this payload, or do I try and push the players who are moving theirs? And I opt to kind of play in between a little bit, hoping that we can kill any isolated players on the point. We just use our coalescence because we'll be able to move forward. Cassidy's there. We do get hindered before we can fade, but we fade this time. They've moved the bot a little bit, but our team's now moving it a lot further. I'll go off, try to cut off the Lucio. We hear Moira's footsteps here, so we put down an orb, but Moira actually went to the right-hand side. We're still blocking the payload. Is this the right decision, though? Because we could be having a numbers advantage. Because right now, I'm here and I'm expecting somebody to come and push it. But if we just had a fight on our payload over at the end of the map, then they'd have to make the choice: does one person push the payload and they fight a 4v5, or does everybody go there, they don't make any progress? So I think I might have got that one a bit wrong. Also, no one was there to fight. Now, Moira's an excellent duelist. We can kind of take on most of the team in a 1v1, which is why I'm quite happy to go over to there. But yeah, regardless of the result, I think it's not the best choice there. Just healing up Kiriko. We've got her ult in play as well. Enemy team's getting a bit of progress on their payload now, but they're still quite far away. So we move in, put some pressure over onto the Winston. Winston 1 health at the back. We go around the corner, was worried that he'd have his ultimate, and at the same time as going there, we do manage to push the payload to the end. 3-3. We're going into a round 7. We're only getting 9k per round. I don't think I've been this broke for a while.
Coming up, let's push.
Guys, what power would you take here? So my initial thoughts were Void Hoppers. I know I'm hovering over Cross Orbital here, but before we got into this screen, my initial thoughts were Void Hoppers. But then it's like, okay, we've got a Kiriko. Has she got the cleansing thing, right? So that's what we're looking for here. We see she does. So she gains ultimate charge when she cleanses. So if we then start using Void Hoppers to cleanse like the negative orbs, Kiriko might lose ult. So instead we opt for Cross Orbital. Now, money-wise, would be a few options here, except for the fact that we've already bought Nanocola. So we could get Champions Kit. And we're going to sell Smart Orbs just to look at the money. So we can't get 2 10k items because we're just like 4 cash short, which is so frustrating. So it's like, okay, well, if we get Champions Kit, then if we buy Smart Orbs, we're going to lose out on 1k effective cash, or 1,500. If we sell Nanocola, we could get something else like Phantasmic Flux. That's an option, but then we don't have Smart Orbs, but it does allow us to then get, say, additional ability power here. Depends on how much you value Smart Orbs. So we've got debuffs, but no Smart Orbs and no Extendrils, which is... it's not ideal, but look, we're broke. So that's what we end up going with. We've got 90% AP. We've got a load of armor. Now we've got both of the survival items, and that's what we want to have. So now that our orbs are doing a lot more, it's going to give us a load more ability lifesteal. We still have Chain Grasp, which Phantasmic Flux helps with a little bit of damage for that. And yeah, off we go into round 7. Can we pull off the win here? So enemy team should get here faster than us. We don't fire the orb into the door as Winston jumps in. Moira's on a little bit of a flank, but she is slowed. We saw the anti-heal item above her head. We expect the Winston's going to jump down on the rest of our team, so we fade early there, or maybe a bit late healing the Cassidy, but we don't have weapon power, so I don't think it would have helped. We fire a heal orb there. Actually, no, I think it was a damage orb, but cross orb. Now our Junker Queen's a little bit isolated. We fire the orb just to slow the Moira if he gets back in, but again, trying to rely on this weapon heal. Trying to move forward, but we're slowed from liquid nitrogen. Just to cut off the soldier, but the soldier does go down to the Junker Queen. Our team's winning the first fight. Making progress. We've got an orb bouncing up there. Moving to the edge of the bubble to drop off this orb. We fade up top. Cassidy's pushing though around the corner. We're getting chain glass damage over onto the bubble, but there's too much healing. We tried to drop off a Phantasm orb in the doorway, but we didn't quite have it in time. Enemy team wins this fight, and it's time for their turn to make progress with the objective. So Winston's chasing our Kiriko. She doesn't seem to have her TP just yet. Try and get a little bit of healing. Does manage to take him down and has Winston overextended. That's a lot of damage onto him. Junker Queen does go there. That's an anti. We use an orb there. Winston comes out with the ult. We try to block the payload because we really don't want them to get it to the checkpoint. It does mean that we're wasting a lot of our coalescence over onto Lucio though, but Lucio's also got the same idea here. Don't let us move the bot. Now, yeah, we've got a Winston on us. We've got options for heal orb, but I'm just like, you know what? Let's try and rely on Phantasm. Maybe we'll be able to take somebody down, but we don't. So we actually stagger a little bit. I don't mind it though because we were blocking the payload for a lot of the time. In comes our Kiriko. Oh, I'm not sure about that one. Maybe if we can finish off the Monkey. Monkey does escape. Enemy team's got it to the checkpoint, so we've got some work to do. And crucially, they've moved it above that. Now comes in a beat, but Cassidy's on us. We need to survive. Phantasm plus Lumerico helping out a lot there. Look, our health is full. Nothing the Cassidy can do about that because we've scaled much better against the Moira here. Moira put a Phantasm orb down onto us, which, yeah, we didn't really get one over onto them. Moira diff again, maybe. I mean, actually, it was fine, but trying to just heal up our Kiriko. We did clean up the rest of the team. 38 seconds remaining. We're going to be moving this bot desperately. We've got to get it past the checkpoint, which means we've got so much work to do because of that pause. And the enemy team are so hard to kill. So the purpose of this flank here is mostly just to like make them think about it. We're not committing to it. If somebody doesn't push us there, then yeah, we'll probably fight them back. But it's just a, you know, you might be able to get a few extra meters space. We do slow down the Lucio. Lucio gets taken down. Monkey's antied as well. This is good hope for our team. But again, another ult comes in from the Winston. Primal Rage there as Moira gets taken down. Cassidy's high nooning. We fade a bit late. But we have put an orb over near to the bot. We need to get it to his checkpoint ASAP. As Monkey takes down our Cassidy, we've got to make sure that he can't take down other players here, but we really need to stay on the bot as well. Soldiers there now. We use Lumerico. Have to use our Coalescence for a bit more speed. Moira comes around the corner. We take her down with our roll. Take the soldier down before the beat comes in. Junker Queen's on the point. We've got Kiriko. This is looking really good for us right now, but in comes enemy Winston. Over onto the point. We're getting hit by the Cassidy up top, trying to stay alive as much as we can. We get taken down. This Junker Queen uses an anti. Is anyone still on the bot? Kiriko is there in time. Huge anti coming out from our MVP, and our team take the round. Soldier with the cleanup visor. GG's exchanged, and wow, yeah, really tense end to that game. Really exciting to play in. Junker Queen, I mean, yeah, you are by far the MVP of this game. Like, the absolute carry. We did our bit. Our DPS stepped it up. Kiriko holding the fort. Enemy team played really well. These are the games that we play Stadium for, right? You want this to happen. And yeah, a bit of bad chatting, whatever. Like, it's fine. It was a positional problem. So guys, thanks for watching. GG's. I'll see you next time.